Hello and welcome. This video I'm doing a VR to Shamanic Arawak Priestess. Her hashtag top 3 of 9. I will link to her video below. I will make sure to add the hashtag. Please, if you're doing this, hashtag, do include the hashtag in your video or drop me a comment below, whatever, I want to see it. Okay. Oh, I just realized I'm out of water. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to do the video without having something to drink. All right. I have the list printed out in front of me. The only issue is that it's a little bit of a mishmash because my practice is a little, you'll see what I mean. I practice folk magic. Now, primarily it's Italian folk magic. Primarily. But because I learned folk magic I grew up in a neighborhood that was multicultural. And I learned folk magic from the practices in my family, which we didn't even consider to be magic, right? It's just things that we do. And then I was exposed to neighbors that were Afro-Caribbean and Cuban. So I was exposed to a lot of voodoo and Santeria. That exposure, and I had gone to them for healing. I had gone to them for mentorship, like they were very kind. It's like I was raised a bit like an orphan, right? So they were, there's one lady that I refer to as my Haitian godmother because she used to refer to me as her godchild, and she would refer to herself as my Mawen. So yeah. Anyway, all right. So just wanted to put this out there because I do, I wrote a book about Italian folk magic, but it doesn't encompass everything that I do. So you may see things in this video and go, whoa, wait a second, that's not Italian. Well, no, it's not. Neither am I. I was born in America and I was raised in Canada and in America at the same time. So let's start. All right, the first top three of 9 is tarot decks. I, for the purpose of this video, stuck to tarot decks that I use specifically for divination, cartomancy, not the kind of card, you know what I mean? Like it's, of course I've branched out to the kind of tarot decks that I use for like, como se dice, not journaling. I'm not really, I'd be a liar if I said I journaled, but you know what I mean, like the kind of tarot decks that you use for your own introspection. No, these are my working decks. These are my top 3 that I use to read for myself, for others, to check the temperature of what's going on. The first one is, you've seen this before, you'll see it again. Sorry guys, I'm a creature of habit. It's my commemorative centennial Rider-Waite with these kind here, right there. I love the coloration. I love the lines are beautiful on this. It's not a muddy printing of it. It's a beautiful printing of it. I love the cardstock, good quality cardstock, a little shiny, a little waxy. Very durable compared to my plaid back. My plaid back is that original card, beautiful, buttery, all that beautiful stuff, but not as durable as what these current US game decks are. This one has seen a lot of action, my friends, a lot of action. But the next deck has seen the most action of them all, because it's been a working deck since 1997, and it is my Morgan Greer. When I got this Morgan Greer was in 1997. Oh, look at this bag. I've had this bag almost as long. Anyway, and this is the Morgan Greer that came in the navy blue box with the chariot on the box. Mine is, as you could see, very well worn, very well loved. Whenever I read for other people, if I give them a choice between this one and the Rider-Waite, they will choose this one. Just like that's how I discovered this deck. I had gone for a reading myself in '95, and I got the reading with these cards, and I ended up purchasing a deck for myself shortly thereafter. So maybe it was '96 when I bought these, or '95. Okay, they're that old, people. Love it. Obviously, it's in this video. The next one is also a favorite. I love this bag. This bag was made for me in the late '90s. It has beads on it with my nickname or magical name or whatever you want to call it, Rue. And it's the Hoi Polloi. A redrawn Rider-Waite Smith. Bootleg. I don't know. This is, you know what I mean? But I freaking love this one. This one is really great. When this is Rider-Waite, but without the emphasis on the Golden Dawn symbolism. So it's really it's a beautiful divination deck. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So depending on the mood I'm in, depending what the subject of the reading is, I'll reach for this one. So those are my top three tarot decks. And as you see, they're all three Rider-Waite, and they're all pretty basic. All right. I have an honorable mention, but that's because it felt bad being excluded, and it's my Animal Totem Tarot. This is quickly becoming, this is a daily deck for me. I've been using it now daily since March, February. But you know, it's the one that I reach for. A lot of it stems from the fact that I enjoy the guidebook, and it's the first time I actually enjoy a guidebook. The guidebook is phenomenal, and the readings from this deck, in conjunction with that guidebook, staggeringly accurate, right on topic. So there's my honorable mention. That one's going to be joining as soon as I really get to know it well. It's going to be one that I'm going to use for other people. All right, Oracle cards. Okay, Oracle decks. I talk about this all the time. It's the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. This thing. So prior to this, my main Oracle deck that I would use with my tarot cards for when I did a reading, either for myself or someone else, was Doreen Virtue's Goddess cards. I think it's Goddess cards. Anyway, the one in the yellow box. That was given to me as a gift years ago, and it was a go-to because it's solid. It is solid as an oracle, and if you have yours, don't ditch it. Just ditch the box if you don't want to see her name, or I don't know, white out her name, or like put some washi tape over it, whatever it is you need to do. Don't ditch them. They're solid as an oracle deck, but these have taken their place for me because there's more cards. I think there's more cards, but the keywords. I love the old vintage photograph look. The collaginess is not overtly collagey, and the keywords are stupendous. The keywords are always apropos. The keywords, doesn't matter who you're reading for, male, female, age, doesn't matter. The keywords, I often pull one of these at the end of a reading, and literally these cards will summarize the salient points of that reading. So, wow. That is the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Oh, I don't know, I'm sure I mentioned it time and time again. My edges, I trimmed the borders off. Did not negatively affect the way the backs look. And mine are edged in antique linen, which just ties the whole deck together. It's like, you know, the dude. The rug tied the whole room together. Okay. Big Lebowski reference. I don't even know who's going to get it. But anyway, next is my Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. This is a Hay House deck. The Vintage Wisdom Oracle, widely available, mass market. This one, still widely available, mass market. This, too, is a favorite. Now, it is a favorite. Primarily, it plays incredibly well with my Osho Zen. My Osho Zen didn't make the top 3 because it was a top 3, or else if it was a top 4, top 5, it would have been there. But this Oracle made it. It is in the top 3. This Oracle is very versatile and really plays well with. What it is. It's an Oracle deck, right? It has tarot deck structure. The minors are 1 to 9. There's no 10s, no quarts. There are chakra cards or chakra. I learned the word chakra in French, so I say chakra. But what was I saying? Yeah, and there's the major arcana, which are renamed, but the cards are renamed based with the description of what the card means in the tarot. So it's a very interesting deck. The artwork is what it is. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the artwork, but I don't hate it because it's not that digital manipulation of photographs with human, not human. Yes, human, but I mean like a photograph of a face slapped onto a digital rendition of a body, like no. You know what I'm talking about, the Doreen Virtue type of decks, some of them, quite a few of them. No, this one I like the artwork. It's a little comic booky, but it also, it complements the Osho Zen artwork really well. I love this card. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is, it's widely available, mass-produced, widely available, Hay House, affordable, and it is one of my favorites. A lot of people like the blue one, the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. I prefer the green one. I had both, and I traded, or I gave away the blue one because this one was more my vibe. Last but not least, Earth Magic Oracle cards. These two. Okay, mine. All I did to these was I edged them in green, and with green Sharpie. These two, excellent. Plays very well. This I discovered plays extremely well with my Tarot of the She. But pretty much as a daily draw, as a question, 3-card reading. This surprised me, my friends. This deck surprised me, and it remains a favorite. Obviously, it's in the top 3 of 9. So that's Oracle decks. Now, do I have an honorable mention? Well, that Goddess Dream Oracle and the Roots and Wings. Those are honorable mentions, but they're brand new to me. These have been with me for a while, and that's why they're in this video. Incense. Oh, okay, so incense. This is a sore spot for me. I love incense. And my favorite incense is no longer in production. My favorite incense was made in store at Mélange Magique in Montreal. The Magical Blend was the name of the store. Mélange Magique is in French. It was Montreal, Quebec. Language laws. Their sign had to say Mélange Magique, but I think it sounds cool. But anyway. It's Moonwise Creations. It's their house brand. Their oils and their incenses were just my absolute. They were and still are my favorite. This is all I have left. My favorite is Fire of Love. Smoky, spicy, beautiful. Clairvoyance, floral, very my favorite to burn for readings. It's my last package. Magical Blend is this what the store smelled like. So this brings me back to shopping at the store, brings me back to reading at the store for people. So yeah. And I know it's top 3 of 9, but since they're no longer in production and they're beautiful, I need to, the honorable mention, Goddess. It's a rosy kind of, but rosy, musky kind of thing. Beautiful, beautiful. And frankincense and myrrh. So yeah, this makes me very sad. The store was bought by another Canadian store, but they chose not to continue offering these products, which broke my heart in a million different pieces, people. Anyway, now I'm pretty sure that those oils that they use, such as Fire of Love and Goddess, Clairvoyance, were most likely sourced from the United States. I still have not found from where, if they're still available. And then there's the issue that I live in Canada, and it's like, I'm sorry that I say this, I'm American, and I'm going to say that, and I'm both American and Canadian. I was born in the United States, and I grew up on both sides, but I have to say this because it weighs on me and it irritates me. There's this thing where if you live in Canada, to get an American company to ship to you is like freaking impossible. And if they do, they'll sell, if an American store will ship to Canada, oh, it's international shipping. No, it's not. I've been shipping back and forth my whole life. It's not as expensive as shipping overseas. Okay, rant over. I still don't feel better. It's okay. Let's move on. All right. Resin. Oh, this too is a sore spot. My favorite resin. Again, I used to obtain it from the same store. When I moved away from Montreal, I used to get it mail order. And it was also from Melange Magique. And they used to carry resin incense because every respectable metaphysical supply shop does. All right. My 3 favorite resins are frankincense, myrrh, and copal. And those are copal. I don't know how you pronounce it. In French it's copal, and in English copal, I think. Anyway. However, I'm out. I've been out for a few years. I ran out a few years ago. But to my surprise, I actually had some resins left, squirreled away. I had a little bit of myrrh, which I love. I have what's half a container of Jerusalem resin incense. Very churchy. This is very it's a nice mix of frankincense, myrrh, and I think there's copal in here too. So it's pretty much very, very close to my blend, my personal blend. My personal blend also used to have a bit of sage in it, or rosemary, something like that. Anyways, it was an herb. I have it written down somewhere. No matter. And the other one is, I have a little bit left of another similar one to the Jerusalem. It's very similar. It's almost the same. Is 3 Kings. Honorable mention is Polish church incense that was sent to me by a lovely friend from Poland many years ago. But it's not just resin, right? It's got powder and stuff, and it's Polish church incense, literally. What is burned in church. All right, there's my resin, people. What's next? Herbs. Herbs. Decided to share one that is safe for ingestion, safe for human consumption, food grade, and 2 that no, no, not safe to ingest. The first one I keep in this tin because I like to have quite a supply on hand, and I used to have a lot more, but I'm drawing down my supply and I don't know when I'll be able to get it again. So I'm being very choosy about when I use it. Is Damiana. Now I've seen Damiana sold. I've seen it at Walmart in the United States, in the Mexican food, where the spices from Mexico, not the Mexican food aisle, it's in the ethnic food aisle, but it's the brand of, I can't remember what the brand is, but if you're American, you know what I mean. I think I've seen it there, I'm not sure, but this one was sourced from, I want to say it was it was a bulk herbal store in Toronto, the one that I have left. The next 2 are not safe. This this you can make tea. You could steep it, you can make it tea. My favorite property of Damiana is it has a euphoric effect. It's a mood lifter. It's very it's not calming like chamomile or what's the other one? Starts with valerian. You know what I mean? It's not like valerian or it's calming but uplifting. Makes you a little high. But not high like uncomfortably high or high that you can't function. It's just that it gives you a sense of euphoria, a sense of it mimics the sense of not mimics. Well, yeah, it kind of does, I guess. If you drink a cup of tea and you suddenly feel love and joy, that kind of it lightens your spirit. That's what I'm trying. It lightens the vibration. In the New Age lingo, which I often criticize. Sorry, people, I'm not New Age. I'm old age. Raises the vibration. See, I'm not New Age, but I'm a Reiki master, so I train, like, I was initiated and trained, and I'm a Reiki master teacher, so I had to adapt to that lingo when I was learning Reiki, and you know what I mean, right? But I'm not New Age, people. I'm old age. Even though I love Louise Hay, and anyway, I'm going on a tangent. So that's Damiana. Now, I'm a green witch. Whatever you want to, if you want to label me, I don't label myself. A green witchcraft kind of person. No, I'm a kitchen witchcraft, kitchen witchery. My first love, of course, is herbs. I'm not an herbalist. I have taught pharmacology. I'm a nurse, and I have taught pharmacology in classrooms, like to nursing students. But I am not an herbalist or master herbalist or any of that stuff. Everything that I do, I'm not going to like suggest to you herbs and stuff like that because I don't have that expertise. I'm just sharing with you the things that I use that I enjoy. Another one that I use and enjoy because I'm sorry, but it's very, very effective is mugwort. So if you practice any kind of folk magic, you're familiar with mugwort. Mine comes in this, oh my god, look at this jar. I love this jar. This one I purchased from New Moon Books. Oh, look how fuzzy it is. It's so cute. Anyway, this I purchased from New Moon Books in Pompano Beach, my current favorite metaphysical shop. So far away from me. But anyway, it's like it's at the opposite, it's diagonally opposite me across the continent, like the entire continent. So yeah, it's pretty far. Anyway, love mugwort for protection, healing, that kind of working. And of course, well, my name is Rue. rue. This is rue that I purchased this because the packaging is adorable. From Hex, Old World Witchery Hex in Salem, Massachusetts, when I was there 2 years ago. And yeah, I just love the label, and I wanted to have rue from Hex. This is rue from my backyard, or my front yard. No, my backyard. I have a lot of rue on my property. Start out with one shrub, but rue is very prolific. So this is the one from my yard, and rue is, I'm going to tell you a little bit about rue. Don't handle rue if you're pregnant, because my paternal grandmother was a midwife and a healer and fortune teller and all these things. I'm named after her, by the way. Her name was Maria Grazia, and I was named Mary Grace, the English translation of her name. And she used this, I'm told. She's not alive to correct me if I'm wrong or to defend herself. But when ladies from her village came to her, and it was during time of crisis, such as World War II, and they couldn't afford another mouth to feed, and they found out they were pregnant, she would make them a tea that contained rue for them to miscarry. Basically, a morning after tea. Well, I wasn't there. I don't know if it was the morning after or they already knew they were pregnant. Whatever the story is, it's an emmenagogue. And an emmenagogue is an herb that brings on menstruation. All right. Don't handle this if you're pregnant and you want to stay pregnant. Don't handle this if you don't want to stay pregnant, please. This is not safe. None of this stuff is safe to ingest. None of it. This is for magical use only, in to put in brevi, like there's a new word I learned. We call this sanduch, where it was a little pouch, a little bag where you put in some herbs, some salt, whatever the ingredients are of the spell. You sew it up, and the person carries it on their person. You know what I mean? That's what this is for. To anoint a candle. My paternal grandmother would be like, probably slathering a little lard on the candle so the herbs would, and then she would roll the candle in the herb so that the herb would like stick around the candle. Nowadays, I gotta tell you, I don't use lard. I just use oil, but whatever. Not for internal use, people. I just shared that because it was a story. No. All right. No. Next. Curios. So I was a little torn with curios. It's like, it's like, okay, well, curios, tchotchkes, there's all kinds of stuff that I use. So top 3 of 3. So what I did was, top 3 of 9, top 3 curios, but with my practice, there's 2 very different types of curios. So I'll start with the first ones. For the first practice, I'm going, working with saints. Oh my God, I'm all flustered now. Working with saints. Where's my stuff? 1, 2. Hang on a second. And I'm back. Okay, it was in front of me, but I couldn't see it. So, saint magic. I work a lot with saints. And there's some things that, curios, I don't know if these are, like one of them I already showed you just recently in the past video. But some, here, my saint kit. These are These are the curated, these are the ones that I have worked with the most are in here. This is something that I devised because necessity is the mother of invention. I can't go out and just find what I need. I have to make my own. So I made myself a Saint Expedite candle. Now, as you see, there's no candle in it. So what I do is when I'm working with Saint Expedite, I do one of two things. One, I can put offerings in here for Saint Expedite, things that he likes. He's a man of discriminating, or he's a spirit of discriminating taste. I think it's brandy and pound cake and stuff like that. Red candles, you know what I mean? Like he's a spirit of discriminating taste. But what I mainly use this for is I'll put the red candle in here. Whatever red candle I can find that fits in this jar, and then I clean it out for next time. So this is my Saint Expedite candle because I love this. I made it and I used it once and I felt bad. I didn't want to recycle it, and now it's like it's my go-to jar for any kind of working I do with Saint Expedite. Sometimes it's not practical to burn stuff, and you have to use your imagination, right? And this is fantastic just for that. So this is a curio, and it's the top 3 of my Saint Magic. And then this is my Saint Kit, which again has the prayer cards of the saints that I work with the most. Let me see if I can share something. I could share something really old with you. Look at this. This is the Holy Family. This is Mary, Jesus. This is Mary, Jesus, and Joseph. Or, you know, look at this. Look how old this is. This is great for magic, Saint Magic, having to do with family issues. Keep a family together, that kind of stuff. Health. Keep the family healthy. This time, yeah. These times it's something. Here, I'll share with you one that's really, really old. This is a Saint Anthony. This is a Saint Anthony. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. This thing is probably, I would say, at least 70 years old. All right. We tuck it in safely. And then I have some modern ones, right? Here's an example of, I think this one says 1994 on it. So, yeah. And another Saint Magic curio, so to speak, is quite unusual. I've never seen anyone else talk about it anywhere. Not in forums, not in anyway, not in videos. This is a prayer cloth. This is a blessed piece of cloth with an image of Padre Pio. He was Padre Pio at the time. He's Saint Pio now. Printed on the fabric. The fabric was blessed, and it was touched to a relic. I think this is like a 3rd degree relic or something like that. Something that touched, you know. If you're Roman Catholic, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, it doesn't matter. This is magic. Okay? And it's a cloth. And I have 2. I have one for Padre Pio and one, the big gun. This is for specifically very effective for healing, but also for problems with spirits. You know what I mean? Like not exorcism, but you know, that step before then. And then this is, I don't even know why there's a hair in here. Hang on. Bugs me. It's dog hair. Who knows? Probably from my first dog. That's how long I've had these. And this is also a piece of cloth with St. Michael Archangel printed on it, blessed. This one is not a relic or anything like that, but it's just blessed. So those are my Saint Magic curios. And then there's some other things too, right? But I thought those would be interesting, especially the prayer cloths, because no one ever mentions them. And you lay it upon the person that you're healing. You can send it to someone that needs healing. Yeah, all kinds of things like that. And okay, now top 3 of 3 curios that are not Saint Magic, that are just folk magic. And so the first one I'm going to share with you is, I brought 3 things from different ethnicities. Italian. This is a corno. Okay? So this is traditionally used, and I think this is a good time to mention this. See this? This is for men. This is a good luck charm, and it's a ward against the evil eye, specifically for men. So if you're a woman and you're wearing a corno and you're feeling empowered, good for you. But I'm going to explain to you why this is specifically for men, because this is a ward against impotence. It's a ward against impotence, and it's a ward against being cuckolded. So you see how it's very male-centered or male-directed. So that's what a corno is. It's a horn. It's a representation. Now this is plastic, and it still works really, really well. The original ones were made out of coral, and it's the shape of a bull's horn, hence the word corno. I've heard people say it's the shape of a red pepper. No. It's the shape of a bull's horn. That's why it's called corno. Corno means horn. And yeah, so it's a ward against the evil eye, impotence, and being cuckolded. Corno. Tip. Now, you may be asking me, well, I don't have any other ones. I have just corni, which is plural for corno on me, as you can see. But you may ask me, well, what's the female equivalent of a ward? And it would be coral jewelry. It was very customary in Italian practice to baby girls were probably the first thing that happened to them after being born was having their ears pierced and gold earrings to prevent, to ward against evil eye. That's why you see all these little Italian babies, especially my generation, with the little earrings. So cute. A little brutal, but so cute. Coral jewelry, like my first earrings were 18 karat gold with little beads of coral in them to protect against the evil eye. These charms that would be pinned inside the baby's clothing. Also, adults can be wearing the same things. These little charms that have a piece of coral, a coral bead, miraculous metal made of 18 karat gold, because 18 karat gold, or white gold, or yellow gold, white gold, or sterling silver, but more as the yellow gold or the white gold, was believed to be a ward against evil eye and evil spirits and all this stuff. So that's why the babies always had that. And then red thread, like coral is a red stone. It's from the ocean, but it's also stone. I don't even know if that's even the right word for it, but anyway. And something like a red ribbon or something like that, because red ribbon, red thread, sewn into clothing and stuff like that would ward against the evil eye and evil spirits and all that stuff and bad magic. Okay. So all that about this, because I find that it's not discussed in depth online. Like, a lot of people don't know that this is primarily male. It is for men, for males. All right. or for that male, like it's that protection specifically against those things: evil eye, um, being cuckolded, and impotence. All right. Why did I repeat that? Oh, I guess because I wanted to explain, well, what if you're a woman? What do you wear? Well, you know, in that case, it's like coral jewelry, and like I just said. All right. Next. This is Eastern European. This is something that belonged to, and I say Eastern European, I'm going to be vague because I never met her in person, and she passed away before I met my husband, so I never got to meet my mother-in-law. But this was in her belongings, in her, yeah, this was in her belongings, and I saw it, and I right away, what's the word, adopted it to take care of it. And it's in this pouch. It's exactly the way I found it, and it's this poppet. So this is a curio that I wanted to share. So I guess if you are from Eastern Europe, you may know what this is. If you have like a lot of information about this, please share, message me, email me, find me, tell me. I have an idea, but you know, I really would like to know what it's called. I know what it's used for. It's a poppet. It's used for that kind of magic, right? But also for protection and for asking favors and stuff like that, right? But I would like to know what it's called. Like if it has a name, that would be really nice. All right. And the last curio I'm going to, that is not Saint Magic. This was made for me, and it's in the same vein as the poppet there. This was made for me by a beautiful, beautiful person, Voodoo Priestess, back in the day. And I'm sharing her because she is currently resting. She is not doing anything. She's not working on anything for me. And there's herbs and stuff in her there's things in her little bag here. She's currently resting. She's not doing anything for me. She's not on a mission or anything like that. So she was okay with me showing her on TV, so to speak. But I have another one that is a magical working that was done for me as a blessing over 20 years ago. And that one did not want to be shown on screen. So there's that. And I understand because that one is still active and doing, and it's incredible. Anyway, and honorable mention, skeleton key. All right. Oils. I love oils. And I could do a whole video just on my favorite fragrance oils. Magical oils that I use, that are magical fragrance oils for different purposes or whatever. But instead, I did a mix of Italian folk magic, saints, and just plain old witchcraft. So, Italian folk magic. Olive oil. Olive oil for everything. To everything from doing the diagnostic for the evil eye, to dressing candles, to blessing, whatever. The next one is part of my saint repertoire, Saint Magic repertoire, and it's called Oil of Saint Joseph. And it's a blessed vegetable oil that I obtained from St. Joseph's Oratory in Montreal. The only problem, I know it's like, you know, it's vegetable oil, right? So it's not olive oil, which it doesn't matter. It's not. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I wish they would use a mineral oil. I don't know if there's a reason they don't use a mineral oil, because vegetable oil goes rancid. So it has a rancid oil scent right now that but this is wonderful. This is it's used for blessing, for healing, applied to the area of the body that requires healing, applied to the forehead for someone who needs healing, healing their thoughts or emotions, dressing candles, dedicated to Saint Joseph, and anything you're asking, any favor you're asking Saint Joseph. An honorable mention for a curio for Saint Magic would have been the Saint Joseph's real estate spell kit, which I have one in my cupboard. That's an honorable mention. All right, purification oil. This is Moonwise Creations, the same brand as my incense, that it's no longer being produced. Again, I'm sure that there is a source of this stuff somewhere in America. This has a minty kind of scent. So if my description, it's earthy and minty at the same time. So if that sounds familiar to you and you know where I can get some more, look, all I have left is this tiny little bottle. And I use it a lot for dressing my candles, for purification. Typically, certain times of the month, like dark new moon area, that time when I think of it, or whenever it's needed. So there's my third oil. The next one is tools. So the three tools I'm sharing is, one is natural magic, or just basic witchcraft, or whatever you want to call it. This is my wand. It is a fallen branch from a willow tree. I found it in Niagara Falls over 20 years ago. I stripped the bark off it, and this thing has been a faithful companion since. The next one is I inherited from my dad. It's his knife that he used to harvest herbs for magical use, also for hex breaking, and whatever purpose a knife, like whatever I would need the knife for in Italian folk magic. All right, and the next one, also for protection, but like metaphysical protection, not to walk around so stab people. No good. The next, look at the scissor, people. I love the scissor. This scissor is ancient. This is the scissor I use in the ritual to the cure to remove the evil eye, hex breaking, evil eye removal. In Italian folk magic, an open scissor under the bed with the blades facing in the direction of the feet is a ward of protection against curses. Scissors, people. All right. Crystals. Okay. I'm not a big crystals person. I love rocks. What I'm trying to say is I don't have a variety of crystals. I have the rocks that I love, that I use all the time. Some of them are not really crystals, they're just rocks. One of them I forgot to bring. It's a heart-shaped rock that I found on the beach in Italy the second time I went as a child. And I still have it with me. It's incredible that with my childhood and how tumultuous it was and all this stuff, that I managed to keep a rock this big that I found on the beach when I was 7 years old. I'm 51, people. Like, it's incredible that I still have it. But I forgot to bring it. What I did bring was 3 crystals, because it says crystals on the list, that I use all the time. The first one is amethyst. This is not my favorite crystal. I don't like this crystal. I'm not really fond of the color purple, which, whatever. Like I'm not really fond of purple. It's not a color that suits me in clothing, and well, not all, like it has to be a really cool toned purple. But that's not why. This stone, I have to put it down, and I have to put it away most of the time. This only comes out when I'm conducting readings, specifically psychic readings. I don't even pull this out if I'm just like drawing cards and stuff like that, because it feels like my skull is split wide open when this stone is near me. So I'm going to just put it over here. Excellent antenna. I cannot wear amethyst jewelry, and again, I just haul that out when I need it for a serious reading, and I need a little signal boost for a spirit contact or a spirit communication for psychic readings. Okay, next, tourmaline. I love this. This is a volcanic rock. It's it's actually a glass, I think. It used to be twice the size. I dropped it and it shattered, so I lost half of it. Well, I didn't lose half of it. I collected all the shards, and then I used it in spells. So one thing that I guess that could have been a curio too, in line with the whole doll thing, is that I actually do work on dolls or stuffed animals, or stuffies or teddy bears or whatever you want to call it, or dolls, rag dolls, where I put a crystal and Reiki and all this stuff into it to charge it magically for protection, for comfort, for healing, whatever. Anyway, so that's what I did with the shards of this that I lost. That shattered. Okay. And the last one, oh my gosh, I'm looking at the time. I've been talking for 50 minutes. And okay, I'm close to the end. I love this. Now, I wanted a really excellent specimen of this stone. It was important to me where it came from. So this is probably the most expensive piece of rock I've ever purchased, and I love it. This is a Storolite fairy stone, but it is, look at this specimen, look, it has the X on the back as well. Like, this is a fantastic specimen, and it was important to me where it came from. And this is Storolite, also known as fairy stone, for protection. I do a lot of the work that I do. My occupation requires that, protection, protection wards and stuff like that. In contact with a lot of people, right? And contact with a lot of people that are probably not having the best day of their life, right? So, but also the magic work that I do. I like to make sure that I'm very that the wards are up, because I sometimes, piss off certain spirits that have no business being where they are, and I'm there to send them on their way. So anyway, without saying too much. All right, last but not least, because oh my God, it's Colognes and scents. I have 3 plus 1. You'll see why. Oh, and I also wanted to mention this is, I don't know if it's part of curios or what it's part of. Maybe it's part of resins and stuff like that. This is a little spoon that I got. I don't remember if I mentioned it when I talked about these guys. I got this from Troll Cunning Forge. They have a store on Etsy. And look at this. It's made from a horseshoe nail. So they forged it from a horseshoe nail. It's a little spoon for powders and incense and and resins and stuff like that. And it's nice and pointy on the end. Perfect for any magical working that requires a little pointy end. And carving into candles, your intention into candles and what have you. And I love that when they shipped it to me, it came with a little cork around it so that it wouldn't puncture a hole through the packaging and end up stabbing somebody, or worse, end up getting lost. sorry, end up getting lost, or worse, stabbing someone. Okay. All right. Last but not least is Colognes scents. So this one has been a favorite since it was introduced to me in the 80s by my Afro-Caribbean neighbors, who shared some of their practice, not all, but some of their practices with me that I have incorporated into my own practice, and it's Florida water. This is not easy to find where I live. I sometimes see it on shelves here, often I do not. And so I picked this up in Washington State the last time I went shopping at the Walmart there, but I don't think I'll be crossing the border anytime soon with the new world we live in. So here we go. Florida water. There was a drugstore in my town, but has since closed, that used to carry bay rum, and bay rum was another one that I used to use, but they're gone. The store's gone, so is the bay rum, whatever. And like there's some other ones too, like there was a sandalwood cologne, and anyway. I'm going to show you my top 3 because these are the 3 I'm using currently. The next one is Cedrat, Eau Fraiche Cedrat. Cedrat is citron. Citron is a type of lemon fruit. It smells very lemony, but also very musky. It's so good. Depending on the spirits I'm working with, they'll ask for different offerings. There's a spirit that I work with who likes cigarettes. You know what I mean? And there's a spirit that I work with that likes Cedrat. And so those are 2 of the cologne samples of practice that I incorporated into my practice, so to speak, because in Italian folk magic, there's no such thing. But there's the one that I made. Okay, I don't know which one of them is going to be an honorable mention. This is the one that I made. I made this one because I needed for when I work with La Madonna. She likes roses, and this is for when I work with the Black Madonna. So the Black Madonna likes stuff like roses and musk. So this is a mix of cologne that I use when I work with her, and I smell it, and it's very soapy rose. It's very heady. It has a touch of musk in it, and right away, it's Madonna, Black Madonna energy. Not always Black Madonna, also the Blessed Virgin. You know what I mean? Different aspects of the Madonna. In my book, I discuss how personal Madonna, something that if you're a folk magic practitioner, you get. If you're not a folk magic practitioner and you're like, uber Catholic or like, a strict Catholic, you like roll your eyes and say, what the fuck? But I mentioned it also in a video. We all have a relationship with the Madonna, the Blessed Virgin, the Black Madonna, whichever aspect of the Blessed Virgin that we have a relationship with. And we can have a relationship with different aspects of the Blessed Virgin, is as personal as our relationship to our mother. And no 2 people will have, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what the whole concept of the personal Madonna is, that your Madonna or your Blessed Virgin is the mother that you need her to be. All right. I just thought I'd bring that up because it kind of came up in a conversation not too long ago. Honorable mention, of course, lavender, but specifically white. This is white lavender. It was the fragrance that my mom wore when I was a child, that I remember the most. And this is a cologne that I reach for as an offering, or to set the tone, set the stage, to set the mood, to receive message and comfort from my mom, or to communicate with my mom, to visit with my mom. It's very brief, but it's always very, very rewarding and wonderful. All right, and loving. Okay, that's it. This is the video I'm gonna upload. This is my second take. I made one, but I forgot a whole chunk, and I had almost, it was uploaded and it was almost processed, and I realized, oh my gosh, I left out a whole chunk. So this is the one with the chunk that was missing. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Shamanic Arawak Priestess, for creating this tag, or this hashtag, this list, top three of 9. I have to say that what I said in my other video that I didn't say in this one was, when I was gathering my things to record this video, I realized like I would reach for things and think, no, I can't share that. That's too personal. Or you know what I mean? So I thought that was and then when I saw the things on the table, I said, oh my gosh, this tag, if you do it like openly without holding back, tells quite the story of your magical practice. So I'm going to title mine accordingly, and I'm going to have the hashtag so that you can click on it and see who else has done it. If you do this hashtag, please make sure you use the hashtag, so the link, so that we can find you. I'm going to link below to Shamanic Arawak Priestess's original video. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I realize that this is, I've gone over an hour. It's probably the longest video I've ever done. I hope at some point, if you needed something to drink or you need to use the bathroom, you just paused and went. If you've been with me the whole hour, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna go now. So take care, stay healthy, stay safe, wash your hands, don't touch your face.